Good afternoon and welcome to the 2021 QAFL Senior Grand Final between Broadbeach and Maroochydore. My name's Christian, it's a pleasure being with you. We now welcome Matt Carroll to the team. Good afternoon, Matt.
Pleasure to be here, Chris and Daniel. Great job so far today, and I'm really happy to be here for this big grand final. Beautiful day on the Gold Coast today, down here at Frankhauser Reserve at Southport. Quite breezy, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as the day progresses, but really a tale of two clubs here, a tale of two coasts. Broadbeach, they're on the redemption trail after dropping last year's grand final where they went in undefeated. And they're up against the Cinderella story, really, the Maroochydore Roos. We'll talk about them shortly, but you can see the lineups on the screen here. Broadbeach led there, you can see holding the cup, and he's hoping to do that later on with Joshy Searle. But Jordan Moncrief, the Grogan medalist, that full forward's going to be a key for the Cats. Coach Craig O'Brien's been here before, he knows what it takes to get it done, and Joshy Searle is a lifelong Cat, so hopefully he may be able to live out a lifelong dream at the end of today.
Absolutely, looking across their halfbacks there, Josh Searle, Arnold, Nelson, and fullback, Jellerman, Turner, Gledhill and Maloney, and then of course the bench, the impact players. We've got Taylor, Fisher, Winter and Chadwick. And Daniel, thanks for joining us here today. We'll go through the Maroochydore lineups.
So Maroochydore up front, Whaley, Jono Giles and Philo. Half forwards, Mitch Scollard, what a year. Daniel and Stephen completing that line across half forward. Kedro, who I liked the look of last week, and Jacobs on the wings, the young guns. Stone in the middle, Simpson, Warren and Lang will be around the park with Simpson at the ball ups. McLaughlin, Hill and Govan, the captain across half back, and the fullbacks Bury, Pearson and Robertson. Andrew Cadzo, the coach. On the interchange, Daniel Lanthois, Jacka Sturton, playing his final game today before retirement, and Daniel Fleming. Josh Govan, the captain, Cadzo, the coach.
Yeah, fantastic lineup there of superstar players, and of course we can't have a game without the umpires here. And we've got in the field, we've got Sammy Somerville, Tim O'Shea and Andrew Beercroft with Ollie Pye on the emergency. Love the work of Ollie last week. This is the best combination that the coaching staff are going with. On the boundary, we've got Cooper Beaton, Jacob Hudson and Andrew Reddy. And on the goals, we've got Kane Miller and Tommy Sullivan. And on the emergency, we can't forget as well, we've got Tristan Syme. So, we've been waiting for this for a long time, and if anything, gentlemen, is to go by what we saw the last 10 minutes of last week's preliminary final, that this game is going to be just off the top shelf, remarkable.
Absolutely correct. Last week was incredible. I think a lot of people had penciled in Labrador by about half time of last week's game, and then that last 10 minutes from Maroochydore, the infamous now Maroochydore surge that they have brought with them, that final quarter. All year they've been incredible, and Broadbeach will be well aware of that and they'll be waiting for it. But when you look at the two combatants, Broadbeach, they haven't won a premiership at any level, at senior level since 1996. And this is the 50th year of the club, and so there'd be no more fitting way to celebrate than for them to break that drought. Will be very interesting to see how they go. For Maroochydore, they only joined the QAFL in 2020 and already they've made their way into the big dance. So couple of big storylines from either team, quality players across the park, multiple members of the QAFL Team of the Year are going to be out here as you'd expect from the grand final combatants.
I'm keeping a tally on how many times we mentioned the last 10 minutes of the preliminary final. We're only up to 2 so far, although I just did it, so we'll call that 3. Look, it is colouring this competition, as I said in the call earlier. But yeah, both teams are here to play. I love that we're going to get a new name on the trophy this year. We've got some big stars out there, none bigger than Jordan Moncrief, Grogan medalist, Houston medalist. And we are going to see a bit of a shootout up forward as the teams line up for the anthems.
We've got Tricia Squires, the head guru here of female football here in Queensland.
Head guru.
Smack bang in the middle. She has done tremendous work here for this sport, and we are so thrilled to have her united here in the competition. And of course, a big shout out to Dion from High Flyer Images. You can see him out here on the screen there in the bucket hat there, taking all the colourful photos. Jump on Facebook.
The Premiership Cup ambassadors you can see walking out now in the blue from Broadbeach. Brett Andrews, 99 senior games for them, captain of that 96 Premiership team that Matt mentioned before. went on to coach the team from 2015, came in an emergency situation, took them to their first grand final in 2018. For Maroochydore, Brad Saunders, known as Fang, you don't have to spend long at the Maroochydore Club to come across Fang. Vice President at the Roos for over 7 years. His the official list of duties: assistant treasurer, part-time bus driver, occasional goal umpire, bar manager, and gives awesome rucking advice. That's an official title for Brad Fang Saunders, and was made a life member last year for his outstanding service to the Maroochydore Club. 2 excellently chosen ambassadors for the Premiership Cup this year.
I think that just gives a good credit to the hard-working volunteers and commitment to people who have been part of football here in southeast Queensland. And of course, we are experiencing a massive spike in participation and growth, and it all culminates here in the southeast Queensland region today with this incredible grand finale, and may it be the best game of the season, because it is the final game of the season. And we are so pumped and so thrilled to be in your company for this incredible spectacle. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone's pumped, and we get the opportunity here to see the captain's coin toss. The 2 number 12s, 2 captains of his team. Josh Searle, synonymous with the Broadbeach Football Club. Josh Govan, coming up from Queensland, originally from the Gisborne Football Club.
From Victoria.
Absolutely. Yep. I still call it home. And the Kyneton Football Club. And they've won the toss, Maroochydore, and they are kicking to the right of screen. Matthew.
Yeah, the breeze is favouring the right end of screen, although from watching the Colts and the reserves, that neither of any of those teams really were able to maximise their efficiency when they were kicking towards that end, but the ball will definitely carry to the right of screen. Josh Searle, a little fun fact from him, he's captaining his club again into a grand final today. His first year as a Broadbeach Cat, way back in the under-6s, was that 1996 year where they won their last flag. So a little bit of serendipity there, but both teams, they structure up very similarly in that they've got a key dominant forward. Moncrief, obviously, the Grogan medal winner this year, 59 goals currently for the season. He was the leading goal kicker before the final started, and then a real even spread of goal kickers after that. Over for Maroochydore, they've got Big Scollard, who's actually, as it currently stands, having played more finals. He's on 61 goals now, but then again, another even spread of goal kickers after that. From the team of the year, the 2 back pockets in the team of the year were both Broadbeach Cats, in Searle, the captain, and captain of the QAFL team, and congratulations to him. And also Nelson, but they've got Armitage from the midfield, who gets matched up in the team of the year by Govan from Maroochydore. Obviously Moncrief and Scollard were your full forward and forward pockets, and the Maroochydore ruckman Simpson snuck onto the bench in the QAFL team of the year too. So we spoke earlier about the quality across the park. It's going to be a ding-dong battle this afternoon.
All right, guys, I'm going to give you a question without notice, but at the end of the day, we are going to have a best on ground medalist. Who's your tip? And you can pick one from either team if you want to, but Daniel, I'm going to throw you under the bus, mate. Who do you think?
Tyrone Armitage. Straight away, I think his work in the middle of the ground. I am not sure that we're going to see the shootout between Scollard and Moncrief today. I think if Maroochydore can cut off supply to Moncrief, when it's a one-on-one battle, it's too late. But I think Maroochydore have got the nous to cut off supply to him. And so the reason I'm picking Armitage is because I think getting the ball straight away, keeping it away from any danger, that'll be the key to victory for Broadbeach today. So I'm going with Armitage.
Matty,
I like that call of Armitage. He is hard, he's in and under, but the cream rises to the top on grand final day, and there's a man on the park that oozes class, and that's Blake Erickson for mine from Broadbeach. Very clean footballer, and in these blustery conditions, someone who's a one-touch player and can hit targets are going to be invaluable. For Maroochydore, I can't go past the captain, Govan. I think he's going to have to really lift these boys. They've done it the hard way, the Roos. They're match-hardened. Broadbeach, someone we haven't mentioned yet, they've played one game in about 2 months.
Yep,
So that could play a
time.
factor today. But also look for the young fella in the ruck here for the Cats, Ryan Pickering. Suns Academy player, really starting to master his craft, and I'm really looking forward to this game. Huge crowd assembled. The Maroochydore fans are to the left of the screen. The Broadbeach Cats, you can see them on the hill just to the right. This is going to be a cracker. Can't wait.
Sam McLaughlin is my tip for Maroochydore, and Lucas Jelliman-Turner for Broadbeach here. As we get ready, the umpire starting proceedings here, Sammy Somerville, as we get ready to tip off for the senior grand final, as the Roos heading to the right of your screen, and that's where the ball heads through. Jono Giles up towards half forward. Ball hits the deck, 48 metres out from goal. Mitch Scollard now, right foot kick, up and under, 30 metres out from goal. Came off the hands there of Giles, ricochets off the hands there of Searle. Comes out now to Hill, it skips through his legs, and we should see, well, we don't see a stoppage here as Searle squeezes the kick out, and Broadbeach are away.
Nick Burton for the Cats, clean player, turned into trouble there. Look, the Shepherd pushed him into his man, but play on. Ball comes out, spilling. Big contest, Zach Stone met hard, took the footy with him though. Terrific play, and we will get that stoppage now, as you'd expect, a hot start to the grand final.
We haven't yet talked about how well Maroochydore have started a lot of their finals matches. They got off to a flyer last week, and then problems after that, but the pace is on.
And they did so against Redlands Victoria Point.
Pickering and Simpson up there, they just try to hack it forward. Can he get a hand out? He can't, he's wrapped up nicely, it's a good tackle. And that's Erickson laying it. We'll get a secondary stoppage. The ball hasn't progressed too far as the clubs just feel themselves out here in the early stages of the grand final. Pickering and Giles again.
So the rucks
Give that
go
one to
up.
Pickering.
So rucks go up again, taken here by Warren. Soccers off the ground, up towards half forward now. Searle goes to meet the ball. Teammate falls to ground there. Ball 50 metres out from Maroochidore's goal. Hack forward there by Simpson. Left foot kick inside the forward 50. Ball lands about 20 metres out from goal. Good defensive pressure here from the Cats. A few fall over there at centre half forward. Roll over in the tackle there was Warren. Ball about 40 out from goal. Scollard and Neeson's there for the Broadbeach side, and we'll see a ball up 30 metres out.
You'll notice the Broadbeach Cats are wearing black armbands today. A club stalwart and former player, Terry Young, passed away during the week, and it's good to see the Cats with the opportunity to honour him on the big stage.
First ruck contest deep forward for the Roos. What can they manufacture? No one gets a ruck. It's going to be a free kick. Who to? Wait for the umpire. He's going to give it to Maroochydore. Very interesting decision. Would like to see it again. Both ruckmen seem to engage with each other, but the umpire didn't like something that Pickering did there. And so the free kick's going to go here to Michael Stephen. Here's the contest again. Oh yeah, it wasn't Pickering, my apologies. Took his eye off the ball there, Maloney. And so it will be Michael Stephen. He's kicked 18 goals. He's one of that second tier of goal kickers for Maroochydore.
Kicked the first goal of the game last week too.
And very, very casual approach, but the Maroochydore fans go up on the hill, and that's a terrific start for the Roos. They kicked the first of the grand final.
Yeah, that was relaxed. It wasn't lazy, it wasn't lacking energy, it was just relaxed. Look, we can talk about the free kick. The umpire's about 100 metres closer to it than we are, but the point is that Michael Stephen, I think, kicked 4 in the end last week, and he got himself into an opportunity. You don't get free kicks unless you're in there contesting the ball, and so Maroochydore will be very satisfied with their start.
So Michael Stevens gets the opening goal of the 2021 QAFL Senior Grand Final here at Southport. Bank Harris Reserve here on the Gold Coast. It's a pleasure being in your company. We've got all the experts. We're going to give you the best wrap-up of a Senior Grand Final you will hear in decades as rucks go up. Simpson knocks the ball forward there for the Roos. Up towards Robinson. Giles with a spearing kick inside the forward 50. This is how last week started here for the Kangaroos. Trying to work his way out of traffic there was Erickson. Under pressure now. Out towards Searle, and Broadbeach are away.
Beautiful work out of the back line from the Cats. Very experienced back six they've got. Nice defensive work from Maroochydore. Ball bobbling around on the far wing. Coming in hard with the body was Moncrief. Just got rid of an opponent. Ball goes to ground. Umpire says, holding the ball. Free kick to the Cats. They've got it on the far wing. And he's going to look up and first real foray forward for the Cats. Kicking against the breeze, remember. So the ball has been holding up. Burton's gone short. He's ignored. He's going to look to the mare, Moncrief, although it's not a great kick. And it just goes out of bounds, off hands, and they'll have a boundary throw in.
Yeah, the mayor was out of his office, I think. They had to put the phone message on. But some excellent work before that. The tackle from Sam Jasper is probably the first really dominant thing that a Cat's done in this match.
Interesting matchup. Ben Kethro's got the job on Moncrief, the Grogan medalist there. But Kethro has been fantastic in the midfield, in the back line this season. As the ball goes inside the forward line here for Broadbeach, but it's taken here by the Roos. Carrying the ball across half back, just hasn't really got much forward. Handballed over the top to a teammate there in Whaley. Jack Whaley up towards left half forward, looking for Lang. Lang, he's got to put the speed burners on. He's got Arnold hot on his hammer. It's taken here by Scollard. Mitchell Scollard gets about 10 metres out. Hill needs to step up today. Beautifully tackled. Ball at the top of the square. Still inside the field of play. Winters eventually takes it over for a rush behind.
Professionally taken over
Marnie,
there.
sorry to say.
He only just acted well enough, didn't he? I'm not sure whether they practiced that at training, but yeah, he flirted with danger there.
Very attacking option taken out here. They've got acres of space they can run. This is Nelson. Team of the year in the back pocket, and this is some of the reason why he's so attacking when he gets the ball. Takes one bounce, thought about a second, not quite going to take it. Moncrief comes up to meet it, gives a good handball inside to Burton. Burton spins around, gives a handball inside, running in waves, the Cats. Long kick, doesn't really favour his forward, favours the defender, takes a good mark. Been a solid start down back here for the Roos. Definitely not overawed by the occasion. Of course, it's their first QAFL Grand Final, but they dominated the tier below for years and years, and they've got plenty of premiership experience. Ball on the wing here with Searle. Speaking of experience, goes with the left hand into the middle. Advantage free kick, play on. Thought about giving a little handball. It's all just gone into slow motion as Welsh gets hammered when he kicked it. Play on, says the umpire. Plenty of roos around this footy, and they're going to try and escape on the far side. Good handball underground, and they're away.
So they're off now up towards Hill there in the middle of the ground now. Jared Hill. Lang is screaming for the ball now. Elects to go out to Govan. Govan here for the Kangaroos there. Puts the afterburners there against Fisher. Govan pulls the trigger up towards the top of the square. Who's going to fly? Lang eventually front and square. Comes off hands. Stevens concedes ground. Out towards Govan. He's clobbered. Still squeezes the handball out. Back out now to Stevens. Just handballs out in front of his direct opposite number 14. Govan's taken down to ground. There's my man McLaughlin. McLaughlin has a shot at goal. Missed a lot. Out of bounds to the full. Free kick to Broadbeach in the right back pocket.
Triple effort there from number 55 for Broadbeach, Alex Maloney. Hasn't done everything right so far in this quarter. He gave away the free kick, but my goodness, he's been throwing himself about, really getting involved.
Cats come out from deep in their defence, just going to go long and wide, asking a bit of the young ruckman. He can't take on the big man over there in Simpson. He's just going to bang it in with this breeze, and look at that ball carry into that pocket. It's a little bit too heavy though. Off hands, however. Not a bad result from Maroochydore. They get a forward stoppage, and they'll look to have players on the move here, see if they can put another goal on the board.
Just seeing the breeze pick up as the day goes on here at Fankhauser Reserve here on the Gold Coast. Perfect 25 degrees now. As Lang lays a beautiful tackle there. Opportunity for McLaughlin. Kick partially smothered. Picked off there by Broadbeach. Broadbeach through Lucas Jellyman-Turner. Up towards half back now. It's taken here by the Kangaroos. Back inside the forward 50. Who's going to be front and square? Ball slips out the back. Mitchell Scott!
Scollard found some crumbs and turned it into a three-course meal. He had the luxury of doing that because of the contest happening ahead of him. Broadbeach has not had an inside 50 yet. Any time it's even looked like happening, they've been able to turn it over. I think they only had to do that once. And on that occasion, okay, there's a bit of fortune there, but they've had so many attempts at getting towards the goal. Eventually a bit of luck happened for them, and they turned it into a major. Well done.
Well, Stephen and Scholar kicked the first two goals of last week too. So, Matt, we are seeing a bit of history repeating because the script was probably not expected to go this way again with a hot start from Maroochydore.
Great start from the Roos here. All the Cats defenders went to the ball there, and Scholar just stayed down out the back that it was going to drift over the top, and got the rewards with the goal. Pickering beaten again. Free kick, holding the man, paid by the out of zone umpire, and it's going to go to the Roos, and it's all coming up Maroochydore at the moment. Not going to muck around with it either with this breeze. Going to get it in long and deep, put some pressure on. Good spoil comes front and square. Good representation from Maroochydore, and they'll be happy with that. They'll get their forward press happening now. They'll just try and lock it in. Very difficult to move this ball so far against the breeze.
Jackson Bury making sure that move ended there. Sure, they're still defensive, but locking it down was excellent.
So can the Roos capitalise here? Mahoney tries to work his way out there for Broadbeach. Searles wrapped up in there with Lang, and we'll see another stoppage. So it might just take some of the sting out of Maroochidore's spark at the moment as McLaughlin tries to burst his way through. Taken here by Broadbeach. Jono Giles getting in the way. He'll try to dish it out to Warren. Ricochet's back out now. Good tackle there from Fisher there for Broadbeach. Comes out now to Erickson. Hard up there on the boundary line. The kick has just been marked there by Simpson.
Just tumbled over his opponent there, but he started really well, the ruckman from the Roos. Very dominant big man so far. Pickering's going to have to get some work. Oh, nearly pay that out the back, and they do. Good grab taken there from Harrison Arnold. Umpire just wants him to come back behind his mark there. Nice bit of early clean football from Braden Taylor onto the field. Couple of real young guns from the Cats in this team. He's one of them. Nice kick out wide here, comes to Lower. He's going to be a key today, Max Lower. That's a beautiful kick inboard, and Broadbeach like to attack the corridor where possible. No surprises they're using this defensive side with this breeze. Nice kick out wide. They just progress the ball through low. Takes off. Exposes the man on the mark. Ruley could be gone now. Just gets the handball away. Spins on a sixpence, looks in deep. It's out in front of Armitage here. He'll be looking to use his agility and nous. Well done by the Maroochy defence. Coming out wide, speaking of young guns, here's another one for the Cats. The young 16-year-old just misses his target, unfortunately, but he was in the right spot there. Ripping tackle out wide there. Didn't like it, Stone, but the umpire said there was no problem with it. Plenty of feeling in this one. The 16-year-old Cody Harrington with an early touch. He'll be pleased.
You see this in the replay there, Daniel?
Yeah, Zach Stone, disappointing reaction there. That's the kind of thing where you can just have a look at your opponent and just shrug it off. You want to play like that? I'm better than you.
Boundary throw in here, Broadbeach's attacking zone. It has not been down here all game so far. Hacked out of there from the ruck contest. Moncrief finds himself, and that's ricocheted off the base of the behind post. Boundary throwing in the left forward pocket.
Just to rewind a fair bit, the play down here from Brad Lowe, it looked like he'd played himself into trouble. He was just taking all the time he had. He knew exactly what he was doing and created that opportunity.
Attacking threats everywhere for Broadbeach here. Players will be on the move. Look for Burton, look for Armitage. Burton comes to the foot of the pack, just goes underneath the footy. Spills out wide though, still an opportunity for the Cats. Can he pick it up? He does, but he's tackled immediately. It's a good tackle in front of the Maroochydore faithful. And the umpire says ball it up. That was Selsby taken over the line, and the crowd are into it early. It's fantastic. Great atmosphere down here at the
Sharks. On the screen there, they're all going bananas.
They've made the big road trip down from Fisherman's Road, and they're in boots and all to this contest. Trying to spill it free. Good tackle again. Great pressure from Maroochydore. Bradley Lowe could not escape on that occasion, and we get another stoppage here. So Moncrief's in the goal square. Isolated one-on-one. A quick kick out. He'll fancy himself if they can get it. Almost another block in the ruck there. Here it comes. Quick kick out of the pack, it's gone over his head, it is a goal! Goal out of nothing for the Cats. Magnificent piece of work.
And you're right, in one sense it was out of nothing, but what they got was field position. They got, I think it was Max Lower who scored it in the end, but they'd been pressuring it. They made sure that their first significant inside 50 of the match was sustained. They gave no... It wasn't that Maroochydore couldn't clear. They weren't given an opportunity. They didn't even have a bad clearance. Constant possession, constant pressure, and eventually a major.
They've certainly worked extremely hard there, Broadbeach. Relentless with their persistence in bottling the ball up. As umpire Tim O'Shea, one of the best that South East Queensland has to offer, a bright future ahead of him in the umpiring department there as Pickering brings it down the ground there for the Cats. Handball up and under. It's taken here by McLaughlin. Concedes ground out to Bury. Bury out now to Whaley. Whaley here for the Roos. A left foot kick. Lacked any real penetration direction on his opposite foot. It's taken here by Searle. So Searle assessing his options further up the corridor. Right foot kick. spots up and finds Burton. Burton just slowing it down now here for the Cats. Now to take that run across half back. It's got Scollard bearing down. Comes out now, comes back inboard, Gledhill. Gledhill inside forward 50, inside the forward 50 now. Ball hits the deck 40 metres out from goal. Cats now, left foot kick, Tyrone Armitage! Yes! That is unbelievable!
Oh, it's very believable when you've got that amount of skill and you can put the ball on a string, which seems to come from your boot. Just extraordinary. Once again, by the time he got the ball, he simply had to do something which, while it required a bit of effort, it was a relatively simple skill because he had time and he had space. He also had a little bit of luck there at the end. But again, the pressure from the Cats pushing forward was what created that opportunity. Maroochydore have got off the Flyers in 2 of their finals matches, but those Flyers have consisted of 3 or 4 or 5 goals. With this one, Broadbeach has capped it at 2 and said, no, we'll reel you back in now.
Got to make the most of your opportunities today. I don't think that ball spun once, but it doesn't matter how they go through. It's a goal in the book. Pickering just goes with the big tap forward. No one there, however. Coming off the wing come the Roos. They're just going to kick it to open paddock and say, chase that, boys. Pitches on its end. Little push in the back there from Nelson, allowed to get away with it. Handball inboard, needs to get rid of this. Does so. Unable to collect it quickly, however, the Cats. Done well there, Maroochydore, to hold them up. They actually pinched the ball out the back, but it comes back to the Cats. Tries the handball, he'll be gone here, unfortunately. That was Jacob Welsh, just didn't get rid of it. Oh, thought about picking it up and running off with it, but he's not allowed to, and so the kick comes back here to Warren. So he's going to look up. Not a huge number of Cats back, to be honest. Plenty of space to work with. Warren just chips it in short. Nice kick to Whaley. Good patient build up here from the Roos. Couple of leads come. He decides to go long to the hot spot. One for the Flyers. Good spoil coming from the back, although it's Crum beautifully. Kicked it straight into the man on the mark. Unfortunately, Nelson picks it up. That's also smothered. Another opportunity for the Roos. Unfortunately, he misses that one. Flying shot at goal from Jono Giles.
I don't think it was a good clearance, actually, Matt. Sorry to disagree with you. That's not where you do a fist. And if you do it, it's got to be a lot better than that. There was no clearance whatsoever.
I like the start for Jono Giles' game. Lifting on the back of that momentum last week. Finished off last week's game very strongly as Whaley has had a big, strong start to this contest. Don't
say it. Don't say it. I know what you're thinking. Don't say it.
Jasper inside the forward 50. Oh, crash, bang. Bodies hit the floor. Ball at the half back there. Shucked off there nicely by Fisher. Liked his start of the game, Fisher. Fisher with a switching kick out, kick along to Burton, who's also stepped up and impressed. As the Roos start to flood some numbers back, hence the hesitation. Dangerous kicking board, heard the voice. Brendan Chadwick. Chadwick now plays on, gets on his trusty right foot, puts it up to almost a vacant half-forward position here. It's plenty of Roos around this contest now as they look to try to manufacture something. Comes out now to Robinson, just squeezes the handball out. It didn't land in the arms here of Armitage. Out to Ericsson, sidesteps one, handball's back inboard, right foot kick around the body, up towards the top of the square. Can Moncrief get there? No, it's too strong there, but it's taken here by the Cats, and they've kicked another one. I think that's through Max Lower.
And unfortunately, that all began with an uncharacteristically poor choice from Lockie Lang. He put a fairly lackadaisical hand pass from centre half back just across the line, and it did put his team under pressure. From there, Broadbeach, they kicked to a contest, had a little bit of luck. I think it came off the face there of Brad Lowe, but eventually it fell where they needed to. And that's another one on the board for Broadbeach. But unfortunately, I think someone needs to tell Lockie Lang, okay, mistake, head up, let's move on.
Hot start from Max Lower. 2 goals on the board already. It's been instrumental through the middle as well.
Has Moncrief had a touch yet?
Not yet. He's every time it's gone near him. Well, he did push up the ground and get involved a little bit, but when it goes deep, the Roos are very conscious of him. No surprises there. So. Ball back in the middle, Big Simpson versus Pickering. Give that one to Pickering, good tap. Oh yeah, he did get it out. Jackson Fisher, classy user, just bangs it on the left. This is a chaos ball. Well handled by the Maroochy defence, although he hasn't done well there. Armitage, told to go, has great agility on the left boot. This is another wobbler. Burton's out the back. Burton's got it. Armitage with his helicopter special He knew exactly where he wanted it to end up, and Nick Burton is a quality finisher, and you'd back him in from here.
His ability to evade the tackle at pace. He was pretty well running at full pace, still ducked the head, body's moving in 12 different directions at once, and it all looked coordinated.
Burton. 25 metres out, not much angle to work with. There is the breeze blowing, but he's a good user. And he's got it. He made the goal umpire work, but the Cats get a third goal into the breeze. Fourth goal into the breeze, my apologies. And how valuable will they be later on in the game?
Well, we're about to find out in the second quarter, because if they can do that into the breeze, the question is what they can do with it. Having said that, in the reserves we saw that the wind up there was very unreliable. It wasn't just blowing in a nice straight line to caress your ball through the goal. Caress your kick through the goal, get it right, Daniel. But again, I mean, Armitage, I think that's his only assist, but he's been involved. Well, he scored one, got an assist, and he's played a key role in getting the turnover to set another one up. It's just tremendous to watch.
One of the players you highlighted in the pre-game is the pressures on Maroochydore to try and get one back here, because they have had the capacity to concede goals in large numbers as Simpson hacks the ball forward now. Broadbeach playing in front there, and Mahoney now arches the back, kicks the ball out here towards the commentary side, out towards Armitage again, the intended target there. Comes off the knee, I think, there of Alex Jacobs, and we'll see a boundary throw in here between wing and half forward. In fact, was that out of bounds on the full?
Yeah, I thought it was just below the knee. But, I wouldn't mind seeing Jacobs versus Armitage over 100 metres. That'd be Olympic level.
Big moment here as Pickering has a bit of a break, so big opportunity for Simpson in the ruck as the ball goes forward. Picked up cleanly, shrugs his opponent, wanted to wheel onto the left, gives the handball. There's another handball. Can they get the shot on goal? They can. Beautiful finish. Clinical from Maroochydore, and it's a goal to Lachlan Robinson. Magnificent work, and I just highlighted that Jacob Simpson in the team of the year on the bench as the ruckman. He currently is going up in the ruck against Ryan Gilmore, giving away size, giving away height, weight, and really, Maroochydore will look to maximise that advantage.
Let's talk about Daniel Lanthoy, who's coming across from the right here, shrugged off one tackle, stepped inside the next. Good work from Jared Hill to keep the momentum going, but I think Lanthoy can take the most of the credit for that goal, because his ability to get to top pace quickly was what created that opportunity.
Well, he was a direct swap for Brody Finn, I believe, in the lineup that advanced through to the grand final after the win over Labrador last week, as rucks will go up again. Simpson gets a lot of meterages on that one up towards Hill there for Maroochydore. He's tackled there by Searle, who's able to dislodge the ball, able to utilise the free man out there, and it's come out to Max Lower. Lower just got a kick away from Jono Giles up towards Moncrief. His first touch today, the 2021 Grogan medalist, the league best and fairest in this senior competition. Spears the ball up towards Brad Lowe, fumbles it, has time to recover. Handball's back in ball now to Ericsson. Ericsson now for Broadbeach. Up to the corridor, saw something he likes in the form of Jackson Fisher. A few uncontested disposals so far in this game. He's got himself in the right position on several occasions, as Moncrief will be the meat in the sandwich. Ball comes over the top now. Here's a chance for Jasper. Sam Jasper paddles in front of him momentarily. It's out of bounds. Boundary throwing. 25 out from Broadbeach goal.
You can see the game plan, I think, from Broadbeach into the win. They don't want to just kick it long and high. They know that it's going to sit up, so they're trying to lower their eyes and go a bit shorter, get it inboard if they can, and get it in the hands of guys like Ericsson and Fisher. Moncrief is going to be battling against multiple players all day. So, up go the rucks, comes to ground. It's going to be another boundary throw, and you'd imagine, yes, happy to see that one over there, escorted across in front of the Maroochy faithful, and 4 goals to 3 at the moment, really evenly poised.
I mean, Broadbeach have had a number of paths to goal this year anyway, but it's almost like their game plan is to just assume that Moncrief will be taken out of the game. And so it's like, okay, we won't worry about that, just play on anyway.
I think you're right. O'Brien would have planned for that. Craig O'Brien, the coach, he's got multiple weapons up forward, and they're rotating around a little bit. One of them's in the ruck at the moment, Riley Winter, just going up against Simpson, just trying to negate the influence of the Maroochy big man. Can't do it there though, just hacks it out of there with a big fist. Comes to Jellyman Turner, neat footballer. Moncrief will fly! Couldn't quite take the grab. Ball still bobbling around in there for the Cats if they can get it. Taken in the tackle of the Roos. They try to escape by hand, shrugs the tackle beautifully, and they do kind of get it out of there. Might be coming back, however. Out of bounds it goes. Pretty solid work from the Maroochy defence.
They did enough. they saw Broadbeach coming. They weren't able to get a proper clearance, but at least it went somewhere. I wish I had a better description than somewhere. But
Just a space.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all you got to do, just get it out of there.
The void. It went to the void.
Yeah, it's better than being locked in there now with Broadbeach under siege at the moment. Now trying to generate something there. Lucas Jellyman-Turner involved in this passage of play. He's taken over the boundary line. We'll see a boundary throw in. And just a name that rolls off the tongue really well, young Lucas. And he's had an outstanding season with his run and carry. Sort of trying to play that loose roll around wing and half back there as Simpson again wins another hit out. Gets about 10 metres out towards Hill. Like his start of the game. Like Searle's start of the game as well. But Lower takes out of bounds. Speaking of good starts of the game, Maxi Lower, boundary throw-in.
They love Searle across half back.
Yeah, I've seen worse starts of the game than Max Lower's had. But look, Maroochydore, they're prepared to work their way up the ground. They're not expecting just to have the nice free-flowing, pretty football all the time.
They need to look to maximise the influence of Simpson in the ruck at the moment as he just got out-bodied there, but the ball's still spilling forward. Probably a free kick, not paid. Searle again, really composed across half back. And a nice spot-up target. This is where they'll go into a little bit of go slow. They won't rush it. Little chip backwards. Jellyman-Turner looking inboard always. They're happy to concede and go back here. All the way back to Gledhill. Gledhill will come across to Arnold. Arnold loves to run and carry. Let's see if he does here. He does take off immediately. Will he take a bounce? No, he just looks to spot it up on the wing. It's a 2-on-1. Fisher takes the grab. Taylor took his man out illegally. Probably didn't need to do it, unfortunately. You'll see it on the replay here. Fisher probably had that mark covered, but unfortunately, he gave away the free kick.
So McLaughlin here for the Kangaroos. He pumps the ball long, about 45 metres. He's got a few flyers up there. Skye was a player in the gun, couldn't get first hands on the ball. Handball over the top there for Broadbeach. They look to clear through. Lucas Jellyman-Turner out towards Max Lower now, and they're on the burst now. The Cats on the outer side in front of a big faithful that's come across here. Grand final football lighting up here on the Gold Coast. As they look to slow it down. Yeronga last year. Metricon the year before. Loving it here at Southport as Lower handballs the ball over the top now, and they look to burning effort up towards half forward, taken there by Bury. Bury here for the Kangaroos, finds Sturton. Sturton handballs up and under, saw nothing forthcoming here in his general direction there. Beautiful tackle, holding the ball, free kick, and it'll go to Broadbeach.
Broadbeach did really well there because Maroochydore had set up quite well, and basically there was nowhere for them to go.
Roos are away on the outer side here. We're looking for it to sit up for him, pushing hard the Cats' defence. They really need to nullify this contest. He does better than that. He wins it, Chadwick. Gets a handball over the top. The Roos are still going though. Still trying to find the footy. It's 3-on-1 now. Coming straight through there was Maloney. Searle, clean pick up. The cream rises in these tough games. He's just going to chip out wide. 2-on-1 again out here. This is the second time it's happened. They're almost going to negate it. Selsby, little handball over the top. Nelson's away. Will look to go by hand. Draws the man, now takes off. Another running bounce. That's about 6 running bounces for today. Strolling through the middle of Frankhauser Reserve. Beautiful kick to the man. And he's got it. Now he does have a super boot, but even this will test him. So he goes with the pass to Ericsson. And Ericsson will go back and line them up from about 40 metres out.
Very quickly, Daniel Lanthois took a very heavy hit at the other end of the ground, and he's come off looking a little groggy. We'll see how he goes.
Beautiful setup there too from the mayor. Doesn't need to kick goals today, gentlemen, to set him up.
He can go back into the council chambers for a little while. He doesn't need to run the show.
Blake Ericsson, Grogan medalist winner himself of seasons gone by. Classy user. Nick Burton kicked one from about here a little bit. Closer in, he sets it up. Drifts to the left and misses. First blemish on the scoreboard for the Cats. They move to 4-1-25, Maroochydore 3-2-20.
So the Roos now look to clear with a booming kick up towards the middle of the ground. There'll be plenty that'll fly, but it'll clear them all. Comes out now to Broadbeach to Lucas Jellyman-Turner. Out towards Harrison Arnold. Right foot kick there from the Broadbeach superstar out to Max Lower. Speaking of superstars, he is lifting on the big stage inside the forward 50. Speaking of superstars again, Moncrief couldn't quite take the mark here. Jacobs goes 1-2 with his teammate. Clears it out now to Govan. Govan, big shout out to everyone down in Gisborne and Kyneton who'll be watching today in central Victoria. Up towards Scholar. It went up, couldn't quite get his hands on it there. kept inside the field of play. Momentarily, boundary throw in as Michael Selsby, a Southport superstar, was almost off to the races. Knows his ground very well, Selsby.
Superb defence from Maroochydore on Moncrief before. One at the contest, one either side. They got the full.
Pickering back into the ruck now. Neither ruckman get near it. Blustering around this breeze. Selsby ignores Fisher. Goes to him now. Fisher couldn't handle it cleanly. Goes back and finds it. Ericsson hands to Pickering. Gives it through again. Chadwick, he'll look for Ericsson. Sells him into trouble though. Dropped it cold. Play on, says the umpire. A bit forgiving, and Zach Stone will pounce. A nice ball out wide. Gathered on the half volley. There's roos everywhere. There's kangaroos running rampant on the near wing of Frank Hauser Reserve. Beautiful ball inside. Should turn and look early. He does. Chipping ball over the top. He's in the box seat here. Great play, Maroochydore.
Beautiful end-to-end stuff. I thought Broadbeach had got themselves out of trouble with some lovely, neat hand passing just here on centre wing. It only took one turnover though, and the Maroochydore players who were in space, suddenly the pattern was all there for them.
So Lockie Lang getting on the end of some great work. We'll line it up. The breeze is slightly left to right here. Just needs to sit it in. Breeze will bring it back just like that. Lockie Lang hits the scoreboard. Maroochydore have got 4. They move to 4-2-26. Broadbeach 4-1-25. First quarter action, QAFL Grand Final.
It's not often that you'd say a set shot from, 10, 12 metres out is a difficult kick, but you would have seen just the way that one wobbled. It basically did a slalom run through invisible flags to get through to the goal. It was a tricky kick from then, but look at this lead-up work where Josh Philo brings it into centre half forward. Took just enough time Warren there and was able to get it up to Lang up forward. Coped with the grass being thrown at him. That never works. Gets a goal.
I think there's an issue with the 5-6 or 6-6-6 rule. So I think Armitage impeded there. So that's a warning against Broadbeach next time. It'll be a free kick to Maroochydore should it happen again. So on the restart here, Pickering and Simpson go battle. Simpson wins it again. That's almost a foregone conclusion now. Broadbeach just have to read it off him now as Simpson again handballs forward. Oh, Govan just got a sneaky hand on it, but Nelson was able to maintain his composure up towards Pickering. Here comes Jono Giles. What a game he's had so far. Really growing as this game goes on. Fleming now pulls the trigger. And, they'll ask the question. No score's going to be paid there, but it is quarter time, gentlemen, here at Frank Hauser Reserve.